Recently, I started working out again, and I came up with this simple web application to count the amount of push-ups and crunches I do every day. I can enter the amounts here, and when I hit save, I have my history of my exercise here, and I have the totals on top of the page. And the best part is, if I reload the page, my data stays. It's saved in the local storage of the browser. Now let's make this cool vanilla JS app together. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's build this simple app together. Here I have my index.html and I have my index.js. Here is the list of things we need to accomplish, and I grabbed already everything we need from the DOM. Okay, I want to start with saving data to local storage, and we will do that when we submit the form. As you can see here, I have a form with my two input fields. So here I will add event listener to my form. Of course, I'm interested in the submit event, and when that event happens, I will create a function. Here I want to have event object because I need to call e.preventDefault. Of course, I need to stop default behavior of the form. And now first I want to get my value of my two inputs. So I will define a constant called pushups, and it will be, I have my pushup input that value. But since I need to do the calculations with that, I will parse that as an integer. So parse integer. Okay, and I'll do the same for the crunches. This time I will be getting crunches input that value. Okay, great. Now let's do the simple validation before we go to the form submission. So I will be checking if those values are not a number. So if it's not a number, push-ups, or I don't want to submit my form is if push-ups are less than 0, if I have negative values, or also if crunches are not a number, or again if that value is less than 0. I will allow 0 because maybe in one set we do 0 push-ups and some number of crunches, and vice versa. That's why I will allow that. Okay, if the values are not valid, I will alert, for example, please enter a valid numbers, something like that. And I will stop my function from going further. Okay, I don't need article here. Nice, let's continue. Now, if everything is fine, I will make a constant called new entry. And this will be an object of push-ups, crunches, and I also want to register the date when this object is saved. So I will define the date field, which will be a new date, and I will say to local date string, but I want to define this. I want to be English US, and I want to format it. I only want months and days, so I will say day numeric, and I will say month, let's say shirt. Okay, that will be my date field. I will say comma. Next, I will have a push-ups field, which will be my push-ups constant. And then I will say crunches, which will be my crunches constant. And since I'm doing this like that, I can shorten this up and I will only say like that. Okay, now I will get a new entry object for every form submission. Now I want to put that object into an array, and then I will store that entire array in the local storage. So let's define here, I will define a constant called history. And initially it will be an empty array, just like that. And then here, after I create my object, I will say history, not history list, but history dot push. I want to push my new entry object inside that array. And now I will save this array into the local storage. So I will say local storage, that's set item is the method for storing data. Now first I need to define how I will identify those data in local storage. For example, workout history, and then I will define what I'm saving inside the local storage. It's our history array, but I cannot do this like that, because an array inside the local storage, you can only save a simple data types such as strings or numbers. So we need to convert this array in the string. What I'll do instead, I will be using a json.stringify method, and here I will put history. Okay, let's save all of this and test out our form submission and saving into the local storage. So for example, I will say 10 push-ups, 20 crunches, hit save. Okay, nothing is changing inside my UI, but let me make this a little bigger. Let me open our developer tool. So looks like we have what? Push state? I didn't want to call the push state. I wanted just push. Silly. Okay. Okay, now our error is gone, but let me again do the submission. Okay. Let me open our dev tools. Here inside our application tag, as you can see, inside our local storage, I have my workout history. Nice. So our saving into the local storage is working. Now we need to only take care of displaying all of our sets here inside the history unordered list. Let me show you. That's an empty unordered list we will be filling. Let's take care of the retrieving the history from the local storage. We just saw how can we set item into the local storage. Now let's do the opposite, and let's now retrieve this history that's in the local storage. So instead of an empty array, I will say local storage that get item. So we had set item, and now we the opposite is get item. Now we need to put the identifier of our data. So we will be getting work out history. But if you remember, we stored that we called a JSON stringify here. Now we need to do the opposite. We need to parse that again as an array. So I will put all of that inside the parentheses, and I will be calling json.parse, another method that will retrieve back this as an array. So my history constant will be whatever we get from the local storage, or if there is nothing in the local storage, again, as it was initially, it will be an empty array. Okay, that's nice. Now I need to take care of displaying all of that objects. For that, I will make a function called render history. First, let me check if the history is an empty array. So if history.length is equals to 0, in that case, I want my unordered list is history list here. So I will put inner HTML of my history list will be it will be an li that will say no entries yet, something like that, and I will stop the execution of this function any further. Okay, that's the case if I have an empty array, but if I do have objects in my history array, I will do history, and I will do for each. So for each entry inside my array, I will make a function. So for each object, I will create an li. So I'll say const li. We'll use document create element. Of course, I want to create not ki but li. Okay, and now I will put the inner HTML of that li. I will use backticks here to define what will be the content of my every li. So first, if you remember, in every object I have a date. So first I want to display that date. I will use, of course, $sign curly braces, and I will say entry.date field, and then I will have a colon. Then I will say push-ups will be again this syntax. I will say entry dot push-ups, and then I will say comma crunches entry dot crunches, and in front of that I will put a bold tag in front of my push-ups and crunches. So here I need to close it, and here I want these numbers to be bolded. I need to close it. Okay, just like that. Now I defined my allies. The last thing I need to do is to append that allies to my history list. I will say append child ally. That's it. Okay, let's save all of that and test out what have we done. But of course we need to call this function somewhere. Let's see, where should we call this function? We should be, of course, be calling this function on initial rendering of the page. So I'll say render history, but also on every new save here. So on every new form submission, after we put our array to the local storage, I will be calling render history here also. And here I can argue that it's a good practice to clear my two input fields. So I will say push up input dot value dot. Should I do an empty string or 0? Let's say an empty string. And also I will do again for the crunches input that value 0. Okay, let's save that. Now, as you can see, I already have my one set displayed here because it's already in our local storage. As you could remember, I already saved that in my local storage. And as you can see, I have today's date, I have the amount of push-ups and the amount of crunches. If I do another set today, for example, 30 push-ups, 50 crunches, I hit save. Okay, I obviously have a problem because I'm not clearing my list before adding new elements. Let's do that before we display our new elements. So before we loop through our history array, I can say history list inner HTML and remove everything from the HTML of my list. As you can see now, I have only two, let's say 5 crunches, 5 push-ups. Okay, but as you can see, it's saving my newest entries at the bottom. I would like them to stay on the top. So what I can do here, let me check, where is it? Here, instead of pushing new entries to my array, I can use the unshift method. Which does basically the exact with push you put some item at the end of the array, and with unshift you put it at the beginning of the array. So let's test this. I will put 10 and 10, hit save, and as you can see now, this is my first item inside my unordered list. Nice, and I get also my input fields cleared. Okay, what do we have left? We have to take care of the total amount of push-ups and crunches, and then I will show you how you can clear the local storage. Okay, let's now work on the calculating the totals. That's our next task. Okay, for that I will be making a function called calculate totals. And since I'm having my history array, I will be using the reduce method on that array. So I will define two constant. One will be push-ups total. And this will be equals to, I have history array. So I will use that reduce method. Okay, and with reduce I need accumulator and current, two arguments inside my function reduce function. And what do I want to return? I want to return accumulator plus current dot pushups, which is a field in my object, of course, and as an initial value inside my reduce, it will be 0, of course. or I will put as a fallback 0 if my array is empty and I cannot reduce it. It will be 0. I will copy this down, and this time I will say crunches total. And again, I'm using the same array. This time I will be only accessing the crunches field. Okay, that will take care of calculating the total amounts of push-ups and crunches. Now I only need to insert that inside the DOM here and here. I have these two elements, total push-up and crunches element. These are my two spans from the DOM. Okay, so I will say total push-ups element. I can use text content. There's no HTML here. So it will be push-ups total. And my crunches total text content will be equals to crunches total. Okay, let's save all of that. No changes inside my UI because I need to calculate that, to call this function. Again, I will be calling that function on the page render to have totals available when my page is rendered, and again on every save to my local storage I will update my totals. Okay, let's have a look now. If we save, it's working for the push-ups, but somehow it's not working for the crunches. Let me check what have I missed. Crunches total history that reduce. Oh, here it should be element. Crunches, it's not that constant. It's total crunches element. I missed the name of the variables, and as you can see now it's working for the crunches as well. If I add 10 more for each, now I have 75 and 95. Again, if I add 20 more of each, now as you can see my numbers are updating with each save inside my local storage. Amazing. The last piece of functionality is when we click clear all button. I want all of my values removed, so we will be clearing our local storage. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so I have my reset button. I want to add event listener on that button. And of course, it's a click event. When that event occurs, I want to run a function. In fact, let's do the confirm so we don't accidentally delete all of our data from the local storage. So we'll say if confirm methods, and let's put inside our string, for example, are you sure you want to reset all data? And if that's positive, I will do local storage dot remove item. It's the method for removing, and just this is our item inside the local storage, so it will remove all of the history from our local storage. Okay, let's save all of that and test it out. So now when I click to this button, I get this confirmation, and if I confirm, my data is still here, but I think they're, let me check. I believe they're gone from my local storage. Just I need to update the UI again, application, and here is my local storage. I only have some key value pair from some other projects. As you can see, it's gone. I can update my UI, or I can simply force the reload of my page. I can say relocation that reload, and with that my data will be gone from the UI. Again, as you can see, they are gone. Okay. If I refresh, nothing. If I add something, I have 20, now I have 10. Now if I omit one field, okay, my validation is working. That's what I wanted to check. As you can see, my app is working as intended. It's counting my push-ups and crunches, and I hope you will work out and be healthy and these totals will hit a very big numbers. I want to thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and hit that like button. It means a lot for motivating me to make more videos. And as always, I want to thank you for watching this one. Goodbye. Lots of love.